Hello guys, what's poppin' y'all? Today we are solving type of array question from Geeks for Geeks. So we are given an array which has unique elements. We have to return the type of the array. There are 4 types that are mentioned here. The array is completely in ascending order, or either in completely descending order, or the array is in descending order but it is rotated by 1, or the array is in ascending order and is rotated by 1. So if we see in the given example 1, it will output 3 because it is in descending order but it is rotated 2 times to the left. We shall understand the logic behind solving this question with 4 examples. Let me write down a few arrays. Here it is. So if we take the first array, we can see clearly that it is in ascending order, that is increasing from left to right. So the second one is in descending order. Similarly, we can see the third one is in ascending order but it is rotated once. Similarly, the fourth one ascending rotated. So the fourth one is in descending order and rotated once. So how are we going to solve this? Let us first check if the array is in ascending or descending order, like entirely in ascending or descending order, by comparing the neighboring elements. Ascending, and then we initialize 2 variables called ascending and descending, and we add it as we compare the neighboring elements. So by using the 2 variables, we will check if it is ascending order. If it is in ascending order, we return 1. If it is in descending order, we return 2. And if it is in ascending and rotated, we return 4. And if it is in descending and rotated, we return 3. And then to find these, we compare the first and last elements. So if the first element is greater than the last, it returns 3, and if it is the inverse, we return 4. Now let's get to coding. We define n as the length of the array, and then we define 2 variables ascending and descending to 0, and then we traverse through the entire array by using the indices, and then we compare the first element, that is the ith element, and we initialize an if statement stating if the current value of the index is smaller than its adjacent term, we add 1 value to the variable increase, else we add 1 variable to decrease. See, 1 to variable decrease. And then we state an if condition stating that if the variable increases equal to n and decreases 0, it is in ascending order, so we return 1. Similarly, we return 2 if the variable decrease is equal to n, that is length of array, and increases 0. We return 2 because it is in descending order. There is a confusion with the variables here. Let me change it later. So, and then we state the condition that if the first term is smaller than the last term, we return 4, that is, it is in ascending rotated order. If none of these conditions are true, it will surely be a descending order rotated array. So let me change the variable names here. Let's try running. So it has successfully completed running. Now let's submit the code and see. Okay, some error is here. So why this error occurred was we have used circular comparison for all the cases, even when it is in ascending and descending order. This is why we are getting the answer 3 when the correct answer is 1. Since we have wrapped the values, the program returns the wrong value. So what we should understand here is pure ascending or pure descending arrays should not be treated as circular. Rotation logic applies only when rotation exists. So we must first check pure ascending and descending and then only think about rotation. So first let us assume all the array is ascending, and if we ever see a decrease, we say it is not ascending, and then we assume every array is descending, and like we did for ascending, if we see an increase, we establish that it is not descending. If either of this assumption holds, we return the respective value. Otherwise, we compare first and last. If first is greater than last, ascending rotated. If first is lesser than last, descending rotated. Now let us look at the code for the corrected approach. We declare an increasing variable and initialize it to true, and then we declare a decreasing variable and then initialize it to true. After that, we traverse through the array with the length n minus 1, that is we are traversing without the circular wrapping, and then we compare neighboring values and then we update the variables respectively. So decrease will be false and increase will be false. So here, if both the conditions are false, then the program runs the next block of code. We initialize an if condition for returning the values if it is purely increasing or purely in decreasing order. Then we start checking for the rotation. We will keep the same logic but then just initialize it as an if condition. So now the code should work correctly. So as you can see, all the test cases have passed and this is the most optimized solution. So that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.